Hi, I just thought I'd pop on so I could take you into a deep dive into our 21-day experiment that will be starting on the 31st of October inside our membership platform. My name's Leanne Campbell. I'm a life and well-being coach and I specialize in somatic practices. And this 21-day experiment is all about shedding old narratives for a fresh start. So enjoy the presentation, and if you've got any questions, please check out the link below and be in touch with us. Okay, so welcome to Shedding Old Narratives for a Fresh Start, our 21-day experiment. I'd like to now give you just a brief overview of the whole thing, the whole 21 days. So over this time, you'll connect with your inner guidance. You'll identify what you would like to improve, expand, or change. And we're going to go for one thing. And you'll take ownership of that as a story that you've created in your life, and then create the new. So you'll create a new narrative over this time and then practice after that. So you just begin to practice this new narrative, how you'll feel when you're in this new narrative, what you see, the kind of conversations you have, what the things that come into your life. Okay, so that's a brief overview, and now I'd like to go into a step by step so you can take a deeper dive. So step one is all about waking up, and we'll begin with a ceremony, just setting your intention. So it's a chance to step over the threshold. So every day there will be a new practice, no more, between 15 and 20 minutes, no more than 20 minutes. And in this practice, you will really get into your body. We'll use somatic practices to really set you up. So the first one is where you are clear about your intention of stepping in. You're not necessarily knowing all the detail or what the story is or where you're going to go, but you make a firm commitment at this time to step in, to be present, and to stay on track for the 21 days. And the reason we do this is ceremony speaks really, really deeply to the subconscious. It will help you pass over that threshold, align your energy, and to stay on track throughout. During step one, which it really is the first 3-4 days, we will explore your unique language. So this will continue throughout the practice, but we're just going to explore your unique way of receiving your guidance, or also the way life speaks to you, what shows up in your environment that guides you. And we do this through really enlivening the senses, because we all have our strengths and we have our least accessibles. And we're really looking for the strength. Like, do you get a taste when things are right for you or wrong for you? Do you get a particular smell? Do you visualize when you're asking what is your yes, no? Do you feel a really strong yes, no, a feeling of expansion or contraction in your body? And we'll really work with that so you can explore that, and using really the small stuff, like small decisions, to strengthen this awareness. So before you get dressed in the morning, tuning in, okay, what colors are best for me today? What will support me? What will enliven me? Checking in on the meal that you're just about to eat, or whether you might go a particular way to work or to somewhere that you regularly go to. And get curious in this time. So this is time to open everything out. So you widen your parameters a little and begin to be aware of how your body speaks to you, what kind of thoughts come into mind, where is it that you really got that, oh yes, this is good for me, where do you get a contraction? So you're practicing presence, because even on a day-to-day basis, you may find, even in certain conversations, that your body might be contracting slightly, and it may be, opening up. And we do this in a way that we find that cool, calm, collected state every day, that centered point where you begin to trust that small voice, the whisper almost, um, because there is a fine line between hearing a no and that being a no that is important for you to follow, or just being a fear of feeling ashamed or being seen, or just from a past experience, it's easy to tell yourself, no, 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 that's not right for me. So it's really tuning into that true voice. And yeses can often be just your again, coming from fear. It's like I need to be seen, I need to be noticed, I have to do this because everyone else is doing it. So we'll refine throughout the 21 days, but step one is the wake up. Let's really begin to check in on what is our true the true north, and what is that true south drawing you back away from, going, okay, this isn't right for you. So the benefits of going through step one is you get more present and more alive. You begin to track what's alive within you. You strengthen your inner compass. You get better at making decisions and clearer, and because you check in first, it tends to give you that slight pause before you jump into something. Um, it builds your self-esteem and confidence, because when you begin to trust yourself, when you begin to check in on your inner authority, you stop outsourcing your power. And that doesn't mean that you can't ask for advice. It doesn't mean that there isn't expertise out there that you can really benefit from. But it does mean that even when you receive that, you know ultimately what is best for you. You know yourself far better than anyone else does. And sometimes it takes a bit of time to get beneath the layers and to rekindle that relationship. But when you do that, it really builds on your self-esteem, because you've got that sense of safety in your own body, that you know that you're going to turn up for yourself. You know you can trust yourself. And just a little note here that scleranthus, which is a flower remedy that really helps you with decision making, could be really useful for you to take throughout the experiment. It's a batch flower remedy. So if you want to check that out, do so. So step two is taking ownership. So you explore the story. Yeah, so you know it, you see it, you basically witness it, because often what we do is resist old stories, even though they're running the show. So there's that sense of embarrassment or shame or fear, or just really feeling uncomfortable about something. But the moment you go, okay, this is what is going on, and the best way to explore it is to look at what shows up in the present, because even though there'll be an old story, it will be showing up in the present, in your relationships, in situations, in the way you talk to yourself, and what you expect about in life, who you think you are. So notice, it'll give you a chance to explore, okay, what does hold me back? What beliefs do I hold that are, really not serving me anymore? What stories do I keep telling? What things crop up in conversation that I'm done with? Um, and then you can recognize the limiting beliefs that go along with that. You can recognize the payoffs, because there's always a payoff for hanging on to this story, whether that's to keep you safe, prove yourself right, stay in victimhood, because we get addicted to feeling a certain way. It becomes familiar, it's who we are, and we like to use stories to back these things up, even if they don't make us happy, even if they're painful, unhealthy. So the step two is that time to go, okay, this is the truth. The truth will set you free. And if you can sit with something and go, this is a story I keep telling and it's not serving me, You're not saying that it didn't happen. You're not saying it wasn't painful, but you are bringing it into the light. And then there's a point where you decide you're going to tell the story for the last time as you normally tell it. So, and you may do this with a witness, with somebody else, and I'll go into that in a little bit more detail in a moment. It may be that you just hear yourself talking this out, but this will be done in one of the morning practices, or whenever you decide to do the practice. It might be in the evening. But the daily practice will really help you to create a small ritual within this whole ceremony of going, I'm going to tell this for the last time. Now, you may trip up and begin to tell it again, that's fine. But in that moment, what you're saying is, I'm really becoming conscious that I'm done with this. And then you make a choice that you're ready to let it go and transform it through ritual by stepping into the new. And we use somatic practices with every stage of the way, because when you get that whole body experience, you get the whole brain experience, the right and left brain involved, your feelings, your mind, your conscious mind and your unconscious mind really become aligned. So then you can really create a new story. So the benefits of step 2 are that acknowledgement heals, and it really is important to acknowledge a story if it's been painful, difficult, whatever it is, that you've been through or that you've created. When you acknowledge it, you invite the medicine of it, you invite the healing, you open up to opportunities, you're able to change your perspective, you're able to leave it behind. And ritual speaks really powerfully to the subconscious, so that that session that you do when you tell it for the last time, the sessions where you're witnessing yourself, where you're just listening, you're bringing it to the light, really helps to get the subconscious on board. And it's your subconscious that will run the show. It's that part of you when you get to that point where you know you don't need to feel jealous or angry, or you know this isn't serving you, yet somehow you keep doing it, you keep creating it. That's the time to really work with your subconscious in order to get aligned with your conscious mind, with where you're choosing to go. Step 2 creates completion, because often we try and move on before we've actually really resolved something within us and completed it. So it gives you a chance to complete. So your old story can take its rightful place, which is a story in you. This is your story. It's still part of you. It's part of your life, but it's not something that draws your life force anymore, that keeps pulling you back, that keeps running the show. It takes its rightful place as a story that you can tell in the future if you choose to, but without a charge, without having it to be a really big part of you and your personality. Step 3 is to get really clear on what is the new narrative, and that may have changed. And this is why I think starting this experiment without really knowing the nuts and bolts and not having it all planned out to the end is a really good thing, because it keeps you present. So there'll be a time to create the new narrative. And then you embody and practice the state. So how is it that you feel? Who are you? What kind of conversations you have? How do you talk to yourself? What are the habits that go along with this new narrative that you are now living? And so we really build that. So then you can play with your intuition, opportunity, and synchronicity in order to really strengthen it. So basically, you reflect, you refine, you ground it in, and you repeat. And that's step 3. And step 3 is the majority of the experiment. It's about 10 days to really get you into a practice. So you take the experiment beyond and continue to really build this. So I just want to go through what synchronicity is before we go through the benefits of stage three. So synchronicity is that holy crap moment um, where you're really surprised by something, or something, you really feel something deeply. So it may be a sign that is familiar to you, that means something to you. It might be a certain bird, it might be a conversation that happens out of the blue. It might be that you hear something on the radio, you turn the radio on, there's a certain line of a song that answers something that you've been asking. um it can happen in so many magical ways. It elicits wonder and feelings of awe. So if that happens to you, then it's really good to keep strengthening it, because it's something that has personal meaning to you. You know, it might be that you're thinking about your grandma that's passed, and then suddenly you notice her favorite flower as you're walking down a road, and you've never really noticed that before. It can be really subtle signs. It creates more meaning, purpose, and trust in your life when you really start to notice these little synchronicities as you're following your inner guidance, as you're bringing something new into your life, and you're looking for the direction in order to create a different story, a new story. Um, Synchronicity is real magic, and it's created through intention of drawing synchronicities and guidance to you, letting go and drawing to you. So the more that you ask for help, help me in ways to be able to really create this new um, chapter of my life, bringing opportunities to you. It enhances joy, trust, creativity, and raises expectations. So it really brings in magic into your life. And the more you acknowledge it, the more synchronicities come to you, and it strengthens your beliefs. So the benefit, practice makes perfect. So in the whole of stage one of this new story, the more you practice feeling a certain way, setting yourself up in the day to go, okay, what is that feeling? I'm feeling it already. Reminding yourself of what your new beliefs are, how you speak, what you expect. And experience is believing. So you will begin to notice things and build that muscle of trust that, wow, yeah, I asked for something today and that synchronicity happened, or I'm really feeling more confident, or I noticed I had a chance to tell that story and I didn't. I didn't want to. It's losing its charge. So as you begin to experience something new, you strengthen your beliefs. As your beliefs strengthen, your experiences get louder and brighter. And life becomes magical and fun. And I think that's the most important thing in this, that it is fun, it's light, it takes you on this journey that's easy to sustain. When you're enjoying something, it's easy to sustain. So the whole 21-day experiment, there will be moments of looking at things that might be painful or uncomfortable. However, if you keep building that joy muscle, if you keep reminding yourself of where you're going with this, you will have that foundation and that core strength to move through. Build self-esteem, like I said, because you're building that trust in yourself. You're starting to experience things in life that you may not have noticed and that have been passing you by. Your confidence increases along with more synchronicity. So it is a win-win. Just a word of warning here to call out the trickster, because whenever you go on a journey, there'll be that little bit of you that says, listen, we did this yesterday. This is what works. This is who you are. Let's not go out into the unknown. Let's stay with what we know, even if what you know is miserable, painful, uncomfortable, unhappy. We will go with what we know. We have a natural propensity to stay in survival. And particularly if you live a fast-paced life, which, let's face it, most of us do, your stress response can easily come in. And whenever you go to do something new, whenever you start something new, that trickster will show its head just to keep you safe. Every now and again, your survival will rear its head. Is everything all right? Do we know what's going on here? And if it's not, it'll want to bring you back. So recognize that. It will show up as boredom. Sometimes you can be just dismissive about it. It's just, oh, this is ridiculous. What am I doing? In your addictions to your old story, your old way of feeling. And that can be really strong. That if you're used to feeling frustration on a daily basis, or anger, or guilt, or victimization, you get used to feeling those chemicals, you get addicted to that chemical reaction in your body, and you will look out for it because it's familiar. So be aware of those addictions, because what we practice we get really good at, and what we get good at we can often get addicted to. Well, we do get addicted to. So get addicted to the good stuff, and this is what we want, these feelings of expansion and confidence and how amazing life can be. The excuses like, well, I just don't have the time. That's a great one. I don't have the time. Blend it into your day. Bring in that self-discipline of going, I've decided to do this. It's a short amount of time. I'm going to do something today. Let's start tomorrow. That's a great one. You get so far and then you decide, oh, I wasn't quite ready, and you spend time with the prep again and start again. Once you pass that threshold, stay with it. You may go off track. You might have a couple of bad days. That's fine, but don't tell yourself you're going to start again. You get back on track and you carry on. This isn't working. That's a great one. You've got all that motivation. It's brilliant in the beginning. You're feeling really good. It will wane. It will. You're not going to keep at a level the whole time. There are ebbs and flows. There are steps forward, there are steps back, there are steps forward, there's steps back, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. Let that happen. But don't tell yourself it's not working. It's only not working when you tell yourself it's not working. I like that saying, if it's not okay, it'll all be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. So if you're not seeing results, you're not done with this. Stay with it. The low self-esteem. Oh, I'll never do this. Typical. I've done it again. I've fallen off the wagon. I'm not good enough to do this. I never turn up for myself. Get rid of those phrases. Decide. Choose to do it. Get back on track. Blaming someone or something else, like Aunt Mary showed up for a surprise visit and it ruined your week. The boiler broke and that was it. Your day was gone. Don't you will that those things will happen. Keep going regardless. Make yourself some time. If you get to the end of the day and you haven't done anything, you can give yourself 10 minutes to reflect, to be clear, to get clear about what you're doing and why. And that's why it's good to have an intention, reminds you of why you're doing it. And you might engineer things for that fix as well. You suddenly decide, oh, I'm going to throw a party. I'm going to clear my wardrobe out. I'm going to paint that room. Watch out, make space and keep that date you've made for yourself. Keep showing up for yourself and you'll build that self-esteem. Okay, so the extra support is remembering it's discipline, not willpower. So you're not smashing through this. Discipline, it will help you to stay, even though those times when you're feeling a bit bored, no, I'm going to do it anyway. But it will also help you to find joy. It will help you to show up for yourself. It will lighten the load rather than that, come on, you've got to do this, get to the end of the 21 days. Because if you go through the experiment with sheer willpower, you will bounce back. It is not sustainable. Discipline is regular. It will keep you going just day by day, day by day. I'm going to show up again. I'm going to show up again. Keep doing that. Reflect regularly and track your progress. This is really important. Reflection will help you notice, okay, I had a bit of an off day today. I could have been a bit more skilled. It will let you know when you're going offline or whether you are online. It'll give you that pat on the back when it's like, well done, another day. I did it. I'm starting to feel really good. I noticed this. I really enjoyed this. I'm feeling stronger. all those ways that really, in your reflection, which will come in your journal prompts, it will help you to stay on track. Have a witness. Obviously, this is optional. When you tell that story for the last time, or if you tell a friend, look, I'm doing this 21-day thing. If you catch me doing this, will you remind me? If you, um, if you, when you see me, just ask me, how's it going? Are you doing this? What have you promised for yourself? It's really useful to have somebody else there alongside you because it helps for accountability. And we will also have coaching calls throughout the session if you're doing it live with us, and that will really help you to keep on track. But more about that in a minute. Pattern interrupters, regular tapping, yoga, energy medicine, meditation, which is what you'll be doing. Your pattern interrupters, which is a ways of you pulling yourself up when you start to go into something that's not serving you. So it might even be that shrugging off a wet blanket. It may be that you just say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to yourself, or a big no, stop, and then you redirect your energy. We do have more about pattern interrupters within our platform for you to explore as well. Make it a journey, not a destination. This isn't like, oh, great, I'll do that. Tick it off the list. I've done 21 days. Let this be like a lifelong journey that you're just beginning to lay the foundation for. Have a lot of fun with it. Enjoy it. So that curiosity and fun will make it a journey that you don't want to end. You want to continue. It will open you even more. You'll want to know more. Your curiosity will keep leading the way. Listen deeply and be willing to be flexible because things may change. What you think that you want right now may change. It may be, the things that you think that you know about yourself actually are limiting. So just be willing to listen to that guidance that says, why don't you try this? Why don't you do this? Go a different way right now. Go and speak to that person, do that email, just listen out and be flexible. Because also, once you think that you know how you receive information, just be aware that you don't close it down too much. Play with it, enjoy it, but also, keep trying out new things. We call this an experiment and not a challenge because then we're starting by going, okay, let's see what happens. It's not this challenge that we've got to get through. Okay. So I just want to tell you about our membership because that is where we will be running this 21-day experiment from. So our membership is called a Handpicked Life, and it's an ongoing life coaching membership supporting you with self-exploration, problem solving, moving through blocks, accountability, and staying on track as you build a strong foundation of well-being and grow into an upgraded version of yourself. So that's the overview of our membership. And this is me and Hannah. Hannah is also co-creator of A Handpicked Life. She's also coaches within the membership platform and is our manager. So all the tech support she's also there for you. So our 21-day experiment happens inside the membership 2 or 3 times a year, and we keep it open for double the amount of time. So 42 days, it's there. We give a deadline because then it really helps people to stay on track and not be too sporadic and use it as a journey. So 21 days of daily somatic practices, and they go into a library every day. So you can take it at your own pace. You can repeat sections if you want to. There are journal prompts there to help you along with the daily practices. There are weekly live coaching calls that are non-recorded, so they never go into the library. This is throughout the experiment, we have these calls that just give you a chance to pop on and go, okay, this is how it's going for me. Get a little bit of coaching. They're group coaching calls, and it's a lovely way to stay connected, be witnessed, and go along the journey with others. Because when we do go together, we create this morphic field, and it really helps you. Okay, and it helps you to stay on track with what the aim of the program and the transformation is. Okay. So also included in our membership is a monthly new moon coaching workshop. So outside of our experiments, we always have a monthly new moon coaching call. And this is a chance to learn. So there's always a presentation that's always recorded. Set the tone for the month ahead. And we also have a chance to reflect on the month just lived. So we stay on track. We set intentions. And then we have a time where we stop recording and we have a chance to share our intentions for the month. So again, it's a chance to be witness. It helps you with accountability, with that support. We also have a monthly full moon group coaching call, and this is non-recorded, and it's a chance to share, reflect, and support each other. There are 3 to 4 new somatic practices monthly, and they're embodiment practices to help balance, ground, direct your energy. We use emotional freedom technique, yoga, meditation, movement. There are all kinds of ways that we blend these tools and techniques to create the practices. And there are different lengths. So some practices are 10 minutes, some are 20, some are 45. We have some of an hour. Um, and they all go into a practice library. There are weekly energy forecasts and journal prompts, and this is a way Hannah sets the scene as an astrologer. She really helps to set the scene of what the energetic weather is for that week. So again, it can really help you to align your energy, and also journal prompts to help to keep you on track for that week. There's a diagnostic practice library, like I mentioned. So everything goes into the library, and then you can go back and use the practices again and again. There is a really simple diagnostic tool you can use. So if you're looking for something particular, if you're working with anxiety, or if you want to relax, you want to boost your adrenals, there is a very simple diagnostic tool there. The past coaching call and workshop library is also there. So we've had guest speakers. We have guest speakers throughout the year, and we have a whole library of all the past guest speakers and also the specialized workshops that are done by myself or Hannah, and they're also in the library. So you can keep adding to your toolkit as you go. So as you have these regular calls to keep you on track that really build the scaffolding, you've also got the practice in your own time. You can build your unique toolkit. Okay, so I just want to finish with this lovely quote. Tell me and I will forget. Show me and I may remember. Involve me and I will understand. Confucius. And really, this is about dive in, experience it. So, we can talk about something till the cows come home. We can see other people do it and feel inspired, but the moment you really step into something and have the experience, that's when you totally understand, and that's when you're able to really get aligned with your dreams and aspirations. Okay, so thank you for joining me. Please check out the link below to our membership. If you want to ask any questions and be in touch, we also have a YouTube channel with tons of free resources on there. So please subscribe, like, share. And again, thank you for joining me, and I hope to meet you in the future.